Hello and welcome to another one of the Mr. AC training sessions. This is the third week of training sessions, and the session today is for under 13s plus, and we're going to do some hurdle drills, which is very exciting. So we're going to introduce the basic drills for hurdles, which improve your strength, your flexibility and your balance for everything you do, but we're also introducing a really key technique for your lead leg and your trail leg going over the hurdles. We'll do that all on the spot, with one step up against the wall. We'll do some step overs with imaginary hurdles. So the first thing we're going to do is of course your warm up. Again, it's really important. There's a lot of leg movements today in the hurdles. You need to make sure you're warmed up before you do this one, as otherwise you can quite easily pull a muscle. So watch the video or follow the instructions on the training guide and make sure you've done all the different warm ups. So once you've done those warm-ups, we're now going to do 4 key mobilisation drills on the floor. And this is going to making sure that our hips are nice and loose and the muscles around our hips are mobilised, ready to allow us to move our legs for when we're going over the hurdle. So the first one you're going to do is you're going to get down on all fours. And nice and simply, you're just going to move your right leg up to the side. So you're going to be rotating your hips so your leg is up to the side, the knee still at 90 degrees. You're going to do that 5 times on both legs. Well, watch me. And we'll try the other leg. So the next one is a progression from that, still on all fours. You're going to bring your leg up to the side like we just did, and then you're going to extend your leg back behind you and then bring it back underneath, as if you're doing a breaststroke kick. So the leg's being brought up to the side, then we're extending it so it's nice and straight behind you, and then brought back underneath, ready to kneel down again. Again, we'll do 5 on both legs, I'll show you. On the other leg. Okay, next one you're going to do is again on all fours. This time you're going to, in your kneeling position, bring one of your knees up to your chest. You're then going to kick it backwards and upwards, so you're then arching a little bit in your back. And again, we'll do 5 on both legs. And the other leg. Okay, the last one to do is a little bit of a challenge, but it should be easy for those of you that are nice and flexible. So in all fours, you're going to bring your leg behind you, and then you're going to move your leg straight around the side of your body and as far around as you can. So most of you should be able to get your legs straight to about 90 degrees to the side of you. Some of you will be able to get it even further, almost pointing forwards. Have a go. Again, try that maybe 3 times on both legs, trying to get as far as you can, go back, as far as you can, go back, and then far again. Okay, and that's the 4 mobilisation drills. So now we've done the 4 drills, we're now going to move on to the 3 key sprint drills that we introduced last week in the sprint session. Those were high knees, heel tucks, and straight leg runs. So we're going to do those again exactly like we did last week. I'm only going to run through each one once, but I want you to do each one 3 times. I also want you to do the combinations. Again, focusing on the key techniques of knee drive, heel tucks, use of arms, upright body. It's really important to do this because it warms you up for any kind of running and sprint activity you're doing, and it's especially useful for the control and the coordination when we're doing the hurdles. So I'm going to show you each one once, but if you want to see more detail about it, then go and watch the video from last week. So the first one we're going to do is high knees. The second one is heel tucks. And the last one is straight leg runs. And the final one is a combination of each. So maybe 2 or 3 high knees, 2 or 3 leg runs, and then 2 or 3 heel tucks. And as I said, try and do each of those things 3 times each. Looking at the previous video for more details about that one. Okay, so the last of the warm-up exercises we're going to do is some leg swings, the same as we were doing on the vertical jump session last week. So again, find a wall or a chair, and we're going to do the leg swings forwards and backwards, and the leg swings sideways as well. I'm going to use the wall behind me, so nice to watch me. The first one was from the side. The leg closest to the wall is swinging. The leg furthest from the wall is just up on your toes. Do 5 on both legs. Now we'll do leg swings facing the wall with the first leg coming across our body, and then again on the other leg. Again, 5 or 10 on both legs while standing on our balls of our feet. Okay, so that's all the warm-up done and the drills done. We should now be prepared to do some hurdle drills and really kind of practice some of the technique with the lead and the trail legs. So the first thing we're going to do is sit on the floor and get our legs into the position we'd expect them to be in as we're going over the hurdle. So our lead leg is the first leg that goes over the hurdle, and our trail leg is the second leg that goes over the hurdle. So if you watch the position I'm in, and then we'll discuss a little bit more. So while sitting on the floor, you can see that my front leg is up in front of me, almost straight with a slight bend in the knee. My back leg, the knee is to my side and it's also high, so it's in line with my hips. And my back foot is behind me, close to my bottom. This is the position we'd like to go over a hurdle in, although it looks easier sitting down than it is actually going over the hurdle. So if you could get into this position and have a practice and see what it feels like. Once you've held it for about 5 seconds, then we can swap legs. Again, looking for a front leg with a slight bend in it, straight in front of us, and a back leg with the knee up to our side, high, in line with our hips, and the foot behind us and close to our bottom. So the first leg we're going to work on is our lead leg. We're going to work on how we need to get that lead leg up and over the hurdle. So the most important thing is our leg needs to come up and extend over the hurdle. To do that, the first thing we do is lift our knee up, and then we extend our feet out so the leg is up in front of us with a straight leg with a slight bend in the knee, and that's how it's going to go over the hurdle. So to practice that, we're going to do it up against a wall. You can use maybe an object that's about your hip height, but you can also just draw a line on the wall that's about hip height. And what we're going to do is take a step in and lift our first leg up and over that object or that line, push on the wall and push back again. And we're practicing what it would be like to lift that leg up and over the hurdle. So you're going to watch me, and I'm going to do my right leg first. Okay, so what you should notice is my leg isn't fully straight when it goes over the hurdle. The most important thing is that it comes up in front of me and out in front of me. It does not come to the side at all. And to achieve that, what I've done is I've lifted my knee up first before I've extended my leg. So make sure you've had a practice of that at least 5 times on your right leg. And then we're going to do 5 times on our left leg. It's important that we practice both legs for lead and trail legs, because when you run in, you may need to use both legs as your lead leg and both legs as your trail leg. Okay, hopefully that's nice and simple. Of course, there's other stuff we can think about when we're doing that. We have to think about our body position and our arms as well. Hopefully a nice and simple one is our arms, opposite arm to opposite leg, just like we're running. So when we lift the lead leg over, the opposite arm is driving over the hurdle. The other thing is our body position. So when we're going over a hurdle, we actually lean our body in a bit. So our body leans forwards with our leg going over. We still have a straight back, but we bend at the hips a little bit more. So I'm going to show you 2 times on both legs again, and hopefully you can see that nice and clearly. Of course, the most important thing is lifting that knee up in front of you and extending it out in front of you without it going either side. Now we're going to work on our trail leg. So our trail leg, as I'll show you when we were sat down, the knee is nice and high up to the same height as your hips out to the side. Your foot is tucked back behind you near your bottom. That's really important, and it keeps the leg out the way as you go over the hurdle. It means that we don't clap the hurdle with our knee or our feet. So to practice that, we're going to do a similar thing up against the wall. If you've got an object you can use, this could be a pole or a chair that's about the height of your hips. You can move it slightly far away from the wall. What you're going to do is you're going to stand at the wall and lean forwards and have the object in line with your hips. You're standing to the side of it. What you're going to do is the leg that would have been your lead leg, imagine it's already gone over the hurdle, so it's stepped in front of the object to the side of the object. You're then going to lean on the wall with your hands, and then you're going to bring your leg, your trail leg, over the hurdle. And we're going to practice the technique. You're going to bring it over, bring it back to the start and do it again. And we're going to rotate through 5 times on both legs. So if you watch me, then we'll discuss a little bit of the technique. On the other leg. Okay, you see that was a little bit tricky for me. The chair was a little bit high, so if you are able to change the height of the object you're using, a lower one might be a bit easier for you to start with. So what you'd have noticed is hopefully that the most important thing is that the leg is brought up to the side. So the knee is nice and up and the foot is tucked in. So it's not going straight over like the lead leg, instead it's coming up to the side and being pulled around over the hurdle. It's important that we keep that leg tucked in though, because if we flick the leg out then we'll be able to kick the hurdle or potentially the hurdle next to us. So it needs to be nice and tucked in with the leg as far to the side as possible. We have a couple more goes. We need to really focus on that leg position. You can slow down if you want to and even pause as you're bringing that leg over the hurdle and see if you can really feel the position of that leg. Okay? Again, think about what you're doing with your body. Should our body be upright or leaning? I think if we're leaning to go over the hurdle to start with, we're probably still leaning on this second leg. Again, try to do 5 on both legs. Slow it down a bit and really feel that proper technique. And the other leg. Okay, and as I've already said, it's important that the lead leg that isn't going over the hurdle is stepped in front of the object you're going over this time. Just means that your legs are in the correct position. So usually, once we've practiced the lead leg technique and we practiced the trail leg technique, we would then do hurdle walkovers. So we'd have 4 or 5 hurdles, we'd walk over them either just with one leg to practice our lead leg or our trail leg, or with both legs to practice both. Now of course we don't have hurdles here, and there's also not enough space to put the hurdles out, so we're going to do some imaginary hurdle walkovers. Now this is still really useful because you've got to think about where your legs are a lot more. So you're not going to find out if your legs are too low because of hitting the hurdle. You've got to always think, is my front leg high enough? Is my trail leg to the side of me and high enough? So that would be quite helpful. So what I've done behind me is just set some markers out with some planks of wood. You can use anything, it could be cones or lines or whatever. Each line is 2 feet lengths apart from each other, which means there's enough space for you to step into each one. And I've got 4 planks of wood out, so that's 4 hurdles you can walk over. The first one we're going to do then is we're just going to stand to one side of them, and the leg close to the hurdle is going to be our lead leg, and we're going to step over the hurdles. So exactly what we did on the wall, we're going to do exactly the same process, but we're going to obviously step down again, take a step forward, and go again. So if you watch me, and then I'll explain a little bit more. I'll go back and I'll do the other leg. Okay, so if you practice both legs about 5 times, that'd be fantastic. And if you get someone to watch you or you film yourself, then you'll be able to watch that position of that leg and see if you are actually getting your front leg up high enough, extended far enough, without actually coming too close to where the hurdle would be. And of course, the most important thing is that we've lifted the leg upwards, and then we're extending over, and then coming back down again. So it isn't coming round, we're not kicking straight up to start with. There's a little bit of a knee lift beforehand. So once you've done both legs about 5 times, we'll now do the same for the trail leg. So again, very similar to what we were doing up against the wall. So you're going to stand to one side of where the hurdles are. Your front leg's going to be slightly in front of where the hurdle or the marker would be. And you're going to bring your trail leg round. Again, think what we're going to do with our arms as well. And again, make sure you've done both legs as trail legs about 5 times each. Again, video in or get someone to watch you so you can spot if you've got that knee high enough, if the knee is to the side of you, and if the feet are tucked in behind you. So the last one we're going to do then is we're going to do both feet walking over. So using the same marks that we've already got out, we're going to now walk down the middle of these marks. Imagine we're walking over the whole hurdle. So the first leg that goes over is going to be your lead leg, and then the second leg that goes over is of course your trail leg. Exactly the same techniques, but really now focusing on putting it all together as if we're actually running over a hurdle. Okay, and again, hopefully you've seen some nice demonstrations of both the lead leg there and the trail leg. What I'm doing my arms, opposite arm, opposite leg as I'm going over. The posture's nice and tall, that's really important for balance and control. Of course, as a reminder, you can use the athlete handbooks, and there's other videos online that show better technique for walkover hurdles and running hurdles. I'm not a hurdler, so my technique is okay and what I've said is correct. If you want a really nice, clear demonstration of actually walking over some hurdles, then go online and go on the athlete handbook and watch those. That'd be really helpful. So that's the end of the session today. Of course, if you've got a little bit more space, you could even do some invisible run over hurdles. I haven't got enough space here to do that. But what we focused on is the hip mobilisation drills we should be doing before hurdles. We've then discussed what the lead leg and the trail leg are and the position they should be in. And then we've really focused on that technique of getting that lead leg up in front of you and extended over the hurdle. And we've discussed the trail leg, bringing it up to the side of you, the knee up to the side of you, and the foot tucked behind you. And practicing that up against the wall and over invisible hurdles is a great start.